Yes, you can make your Adam's apple disappear on camera, in selfies, even standing 3 feet away from someone, and you don't need a single surgery to do it. Not a tracheal shave, not 6 weeks of recovery, just about 90 seconds using the right technique. And here's the part that might annoy you a little. If you've tried this before and it didn't work, it probably wasn't your neck's fault. It was the method. Almost everyone does this exact thing backwards. If you're on hormones, if you're pre-everything, or if surgery just isn't in the cards for you right now, financially, medically, or simply because you don't want it, this one feature can feel like the loudest thing on your body. It's the first place some people's eyes go. Maybe you've caught yourself avoiding certain angles in photos or tilting your chin down in every single selfie without even thinking about it anymore. And no amount of confidence fixes a bad angle under fluorescent lighting. So today, I'm breaking down the real, working, non-surgical way to minimize your Adam's apple, using color theory, the right product texture, and a couple of styling tricks that professional makeup artists and drag performers have used for decades. This isn't some rehashed trend from 3 years ago. This is what's actually working in 2026, and it's closer to real science than most tutorials let on. But before we get into how, I need to tell you about the one mistake that ruins this for almost everyone, even people who understand color theory, even people using expensive products. It's not about what you put on, it's about the exact moment you apply it. And I promise, by the end of this video, I'm showing you exactly what that mistake is and the 15-second fix that changes everything. Okay, here's where it actually starts. And it's not your makeup bag, it's your skin. 2 full minutes before a single product touches it. Your neck moves constantly, swallowing, talking, turning your head, way more than your cheeks or your nose ever do. So if you skip prep, you're not just fighting gravity, you're fighting motion. And motion always wins. Start with a gentle exfoliation 2 or 3 times a week, never daily, because over-exfoliating irritates the skin and makes concealer cling to texture instead of sitting smoothly on top of it. Follow with a lightweight oil-free moisturizer and give it 2 full minutes to absorb before anything else touches your skin. Then, and this is the step almost everyone skips, use a primer made for oily or combination skin, even if your face runs dry, because your neck behaves completely differently under heat, stress, or camera lights. And if you're trying a new product for the first time, patch test it on your inner arm the night before. Neck skin is thin and it reacts fast. Now here's the twist that changes everything, and it's the single biggest mistake I see. You are not trying to match your skin tone. You are trying to create a shadow, and shadows are never warm. Bronzer is warm. Bronzer says sun-kissed cheekbone. It does not say recessed cartilage. What you actually want is a cool-toned ashy taupe, something closer to gray-brown than orange-brown. That's the color your eye reads as depth, as something receding into the neck instead of sitting on top of it. Go 2 to 3 shades darker than your natural skin tone, and check it in daylight, not bathroom lighting, because warm bulbs will lie to you every single time. And shade is only half of it, because the form of the product matters just as much as the color. This is where a lot of people reach for whatever they already own, and that's usually the mistake. Powder contour looks beautiful in photos, but it sits on the surface, and surface products are the first thing to crack or fade when skin moves this much. Cream or liquid contour actually grips onto the skin and moves with it. Think about the heavy-duty, long-wear formulas stage performers and dancers use, the kind built to survive sweat and hours under hot lights. That's the category you want here, set with just a whisper of translucent powder on top, not a full layer. But even the perfect shade fails if you apply it like blush. This isn't about coverage, it's about architecture. Use a small, dense brush or a damp makeup sponge. Never your fingers, they're too warm, and they'll melt the product into a smear instead of a shape. Apply the cool-toned shade directly onto the most protruding point and just slightly to either side. Then immediately follow with a concealer 1 shade lighter than your skin, placed just above and below that shadow. That's the sandwich technique. Dark in the middle, light on the edges. It tricks the eye into reading a smooth, flat plane instead of a peak. Blend outward in small circles, not up and down. Swallowing runs vertically, so horizontal blending survives it better. Take your time here. Rushed blending is the #1 reason people can spot contour from across the room. And one more thing while we're here. Put the shimmer highlighter down. I know it's tempting. Everyone wants that glowy, snatched look, but shimmer reflects light, and reflected light pulls the eye straight to whatever it's sitting on. On your cheekbones, gorgeous. On this specific spot, it's basically a flashlight pointed at the exact thing you're trying to soften. Matte. Always matte. No exceptions. Here's something almost nobody mentions. The look that's flawless in your bathroom mirror can completely fall apart the second you're on a video call or a phone camera flash, because cameras exaggerate shine like nothing else. So, set everything with a translucent powder, pressed in with a puff instead of swept with a brush. Pressing locks the pigment in place instead of pushing it around. One light mist of setting spray held at least 8 inches away and 30 seconds to dry before any scarf or collar touches your neck. Then, do what I call the movement test. Swallow, talk out loud, turn your head side to side right there in the mirror. If it holds through that, you'll know exactly where to touch it up before you ever leave the house. And keep a tiny travel version of that same powder in your bag. One light press with a puff at the 2-hour mark undoes any shine before it ever shows up on camera. And here's something most beauty channels won't tell you, because it has nothing to do with makeup at all. Your wardrobe, your hair, even your posture can do half the work for you. A scarf or a choker sitting right at the base of your throat breaks the eye's path before it ever reaches the shadow. Cowl necks, mock necks, and soft draped collars do the same thing structurally. Longer hair worn down, even just past the collarbone, softens your whole neckline. And your chin. Keeping it very slightly lifted, not tucked, not tilted back, changes the angle of that shadow completely. None of this replaces the makeup. It stacks on top of it, and layered illusion always beats one single trick. Okay, remember that mistake I promised to explain? Here it is. And once you hear it, you're going to notice it literally in every tutorial you've ever watched. Almost everyone applies and checks their contour standing straight in front of a mirror, chin level, completely neutral. But that is never the angle other people actually see you at. People see you when you're laughing with your head tipped back, when you're mid-sentence, throat moving, when someone's holding their phone slightly below your face on a video call. That neutral, straight-on mirror pose is the most flattering angle there is, which means it's exactly the angle that's lying to you. So here's the 15-second fix. After you finish blending, tilt your head back slightly, the way you would if you were laughing, and check your work right there in that position. Touch up the cool tone shade into any spot that suddenly looks lighter or exposed at that angle. That's it. Combine it with the movement test from earlier, and you've essentially stress-tested this look from every angle a camera or a person could ever catch you at. That one adjustment is the difference between makeup that works in your bathroom mirror and makeup that works in real conversations, real laughter, and real cameras pointed at you from every direction. So, yes, that disappearing act I promised you at the very start, it's real. Not from surgery, not from 6 weeks of recovery, just from understanding shadow, texture, timing, and one angle almost nobody checks. If any part of this saves you 5 minutes in front of your mirror tomorrow morning, tell me in the comments which tip you're trying first. I read every single one, and they shape exactly what I break down next on this channel. And if you're new here, subscribing means you won't miss it, because playfully intriguing, trailing energy. The jawline trick I'm covering next is even sneakier than this one, and it uses almost the exact same color theory, just in a completely different spot. See you in that one.